romance, intrigue, and success. That all describes Magellan Vacations. And I'd like to introduce right now Dianna and Dan, brother and sister, and the masterminds behind this incredible business. And first of all, Dianna, we are sitting in your office, and it is a little bit of romance and intrigue.
It's beautiful. Today is our Hotel Appreciation Day in association with our 10th anniversary. And a few of our staff made my office look like my favorite hotel in South Beach, the Delano, which is all white, drapes, yeah, the candles. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
All right. The story doesn't stop there. It actually started 10 years ago, Dan, with you and Dianna sitting at your grandmother's table organizing this business. So take us back. What is Magellan Vacations all about?
Deanna and I always believed that we wanted to have a company, but we didn't have a vision of what it was. It could have been as mundane as a gas station or something, but we always believed in service. We happen to have some connections into a travel agency, a normal bricks and mortar type travel agency, but we wanted to do something more online, and so we created Magellan Vacations.
And it really is an experience, isn't it, Dianna?
It is. Everything about the company from the start has been an experience. Getting associated with the hotels, starting the business, starting with employees, to what we've got now. It's been a fabulous experience.
And we want to say, everybody, these are, I guess, vacations that are on the upper end. Like, you're talking 5-star hotels.
Yeah, we just do 5-star hotels, and just in major cities in the U.S. We don't do anything else. We figure we're going to pick what we're really good at, specialize in it, and that's what we do.
Dan, is there a market? Well, obviously there is a market for this, and how have you expanded and lasted? You're celebrating 10 years.
When we started in business, obviously 10 years ago was right around 9/11. So you would think that there would have been a big decrease in travel for us, but being that small, we wouldn't notice an increase or a decrease if we tried. With the couple financial crises, with the tech bubble and the housing bubble, our business has only increased as it makes 5-star hotels more affordable.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Dianna, criteria, and how do you create that experience for each client?
Our agents are trained extensively, not only on the hotels, to have entire encyclopedic knowledge of the hotels, but also to have a real conversation with their clients, to get on the phone and really find out, what are these people going for? Who are they going with? What do they want to do in their spare time? What sort of experience do they want to have? And what they really try to do is create that experience for each client so that when the client comes home, it really has been an experience of their life. Mm-hmm. And that's what we aim to do with every single client, every single call.
Wow. It's amazing, too, because we have the internet, we have Expedia and all those other hotel places where everybody goes to find their cheap hotel. Is that a tough market to crack?
We try to stay in what we would call a niche. Expedia isn't looking for the high-end traveler. They're looking for the cheap traveler. Another thing is Expedia isn't, they can't provide like Deanna said, the encyclopedic technology. They can't provide that kind of experience. When you're talking to a call center in the Philippines, for example, where Expedia does have one, they're not going to have stayed at that hotel. They're not going to have been to that hotel. Our agents they're being sent to the hotels, they stay at the hotels, and they sell a relatively small amount, somewhere in a couple hundred range. So they end up knowing the hotels very well and also having personal relationships with the sales managers at the hotels. So anything goes wrong, it can be fixed. Or if they want something special, it can be done just picking up a phone.
And it's so nice in this day and age that you do have that connection, that personal connection, because I think that's lacking in a lot of business today.
Very much. There are times where something special is needed for a guest, and it will hit my cell phone in the evening. I just moved from California, so evening in California, I'm still up, and we'll phone a sales manager at the hotel on their personal cell at home in the evening on the weekend, and we still have access to them to get things solved.
Wow. So is your clientele sort of, I guess, confidential on who you serve, or?
I'm not really sure, yeah, how detailed we can get into that, but definitely we book a number of celebrities, a lot of people in the music industry, and a lot of sports figures. So it's kind of across the board. But we also just book every other person, who calls in.
Well, your background now too, Deanna, how did this all kind of fall in place with this business?
I'd been working at Great West Life for 10 years in a customer service role. Fabulous job, loved it. But Dan had an investment into a business in the Cayman Islands, and I just kind of decided I'd really like to be warm. So I went down there for 6 years, and one of the businesses that I was running was a travel agency, and I really had a real knack for it, got really involved in it. And then, Dan and I kept talking about starting a business, and kind of put the two things together.
Oh, and it's so cool. I mean, brother and sister, I'm sure you do have some arguments, but still, I mean, to have this kind of business here in Winnipeg is pretty amazing.
I don't know that we actually do have arguments.
Strangely enough, it's pretty rare. People are always like, oh, how do you work with your brother? Or, working with family is always a problem. He is very strong in what he does, and I'm very strong in what I do, and we completely respect each other's decisions, and it's bizarre. It's just bizarre. We don't argue.
Okay, wackiest request.
There you go.
I'm not sure. There have been some wacky ones, and definitely some of our agents can tell you, but unfortunately, most of the really wacky ones that kind of freak us out are of a sexual nature, so you're like, just didn't need to know that. Didn't need to know that, no.
Oh, we know your favorite hotel is the Delano.
Yes.
How about yours, Dan?
I'd have to say the Montage in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
It's about a block from, 2 blocks from Rodeo Drive, which probably isn't the safest thing for the wife, but it's just a great facility, great service, beautiful rooms, the staff is amazing. I love the restaurant, love the bar.
Okay, so you have now 10 destinations on your calendar, 10 different cities
Pretty
now?
much, yeah.
And all in the United States?
All in the U.S., yeah. It's easier for us, rather than doing overseas. We can get our agents there more regularly. We can build personal relationships with the sales managers at the hotels. So far we've just stuck with that.
Oh, so I wondered, would there be a 5-star hotel here in Winnipeg?
I don't think we have one, no.
But maybe with the NHL coming back, we will have, substantial more millionaires actually living in our city for a while anyways.
One can only hope.
And Magellan will be right there. Well, congratulations, Deanna and Dan. Quick, before we wrap up, words of wisdom for other young entrepreneurs out there that may want to maybe not go into the hotelier business, but into business for themselves.
I think you just have to take the leap. You just have to find a way, take the leap, struggle through it. Ton of work, but no matter what, no matter how successful you become or don't become, it doesn't matter. It's all worth it. Every minute of it is worth it because you've worked hard at something that was important to you.
Dan?
You have to pick something that you enjoy doing, but you do have to understand that it's going to take a lot of hours. You are going to put in the 18-hour days at the beginning for a number of years, and you generally don't expect to turn a profit for at least a few years.
Okay, but in case of Dan and Deanna, they're riding high. It's Magellan Vacations, and if you want to plan your next vacation, well, you might just want to give them a call. For Shaw TV, I'm Tracy Koga.